Can you stop? Oh, it's... Are you gonna cool it? All right. Hi, welcome again to Fun with Plants. So it is spring and I'm really psyched about that. So right now I'm just going to be planting a bunch of things, okay? So I have this, which I literally bought from the dollar store. I don't know how well it's gonna work. I have some that I already started and are growing, but we'll see if anything happens with those. But literally all I'm gonna do is just cut this up, stick it in some dirt, give it some water, and we'll see what happens. And I'm just gonna get started. It's a beautiful day today. I'm not going outside, obviously, because lockdown, still a thing, unfortunately. But that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, it sucks, but it's just one of those things. So in this clip, I kind of just complain for the next couple minutes. So I've sped it up and my voice sounds hilarious and way cuter and less whiny. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love making this.
I really want tomatoes. I have a huge tomato plant. Maybe I'll show it to you later. Right over here. And the struggle. I started it months ago because I just want tomatoes and no buds, no nothing for the longest time. And I trimmed it all back, got rid of everything except for the stalks essentially, and just to see what would happen. And regrew, beautiful plant, but then again, nothing. I got a couple buds that turned into flowers and the flowers came out. I tried to pollinate, but it didn't really seem to do much. And then those buds just died, as they do, but nothing happened. So no plants out of it. I have some new buds, but I don't know if that's gonna be just the same thing or if anything will happen. So I'm basically just doing this. I rolled them up, put them in the dirt, and then I'm just gonna cover them in dirt, add lots of water, and that's all I need. Normally I would start these in little starter, you know, those little starter pots that are biodegradable. But I find when I'm gonna put these under a grow light, I find that they end up growing so fast, and then you can't keep them in those little pots very long because that'll kind of kill them. So they're really not in there long enough for it to be worth me going to the trouble of just repotting them into a plastic pot like this soon enough anyways. So, and with dill, I like to kind of just put a shit ton in, or a lot in there, and then just, you know, survival of the fittest. I'll just take out the ones that are small, or if they're too close. I know it's harsh, but you know, life is rough sometimes, what can I say? So I'm just putting a lot in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of dirt on top, just to cover. And then we got some dill. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my chives. I have a bunch of other things started. I have squash already started. I have so many things started, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it all. Okay, that's a lot of chives. Same thing. Beautiful. For these seeds, I'm going to do a couple things, just as a little experiments, because I'm a scientist, okay? So I'm gonna put some in paper towel in a Ziploc bag, and some I'm going to just throw it in the dirt and see what happens. Just because of the fun. I also have some avocado trees that don't seem to be really doing well in the water and aren't really up to much. And then I saw this video from where, I don't know who it was, some Australian dude. And he had this, video that showed the difference between planting in water versus just throwing the seed essentially in some dirt. Initially, the water did a better job, right, to get the seed cracked and some roots. But over time, it showed that if you just put it in the dirt, you don't have to worry about shocking the plant when you eventually do put it in the dirt, right? Because sometimes when you do it, it shocks the plant and it kills it anyways. So even though you might have that initial growth, if you just put it right in the dirt, you don't have to worry about that shock ever, because you don't have to transplant it. You put it in a decent enough size pot that you can keep it in there for quite a while, right? I have some seeds that really haven't done much of anything. I have so many seeds. I don't know how many, more than 10. It's actually ridiculous. Maybe I'll insert a clip of that too, because yeah, I have a problem. So I want to just, some of those ones that are just started and aren't up to much or aren't doing well for whatever reason, I'm just going to stick them in dirt and see if that helps. Okay. So we'll see. But first, so these date seeds here, I'm actually going to kind of clean them off to get all of the I don't know what you would call it, the date goo off of them, right? I just want the seeds to be kind of clean. So I want to kind of just like clean them off because I don't want them to mold. They do usually mold, like I'll get a few moldy date seeds anyways, just because you're putting it in water and then putting it in a bag, right? If it's pretty airtight. So any organic matter is going to get some mold on it. Again, this is just me, generally complaining as I clean date goo off of seeds. So not super interesting, and therefore I'm sparing you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much talking. I don't know. I was feeling super chatty that day, but also whiny. And yeah, so that's why you're not hearing it right now. You're welcome. Gift from me to you. Sorry, my table's a mess. So what I usually do, I'm gonna get some clean paper towel. Normally, a smart thing to do would also have a heating pad for this, but I don't. So I kind of just put it in a spot that I know is not gonna get too cold. And since it's the spring anyways, my apartment isn't that cold. So I just wanna get my paper towel moist and, oh, I hate that word. But that's what I want. And I'm just gonna place them in there. I'm not even worried about what's on the bottom, what's on the top, because the root's just gonna do its thing, right? I'm just gonna wrap it up, paper towel, and I'll check on it maybe in a couple weeks, because the date plants take a while. So I'm not thinking that, in a week I'm gonna have some roots popping out. And now I'm just gonna throw them in the bag. There we go. It's gonna grow underneath my grow light over here. Boom. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my lovely seeds here. I'm not even sure what these are, but that's okay. I also, so I don't know if this is a good idea, but what I do as well, or what I did this time, is in my water that I have here, I also have a little bit of plant food in there. Just the, you know, the cheap liquid plant food that you can get at the Dollarama. All right, and then, so that's it. I'm not super technical. I'm not worried about, you know, if it's overlapping or what. It's probably obviously more than I would need. If every one of these grew something, then yeah, that'd be too many. But again, it's just kind of, you know, more is more. This should be faster. So I'll probably check this in a week or two. And I'm gonna do basically the same thing I did with my dill and stuff. Maybe I'm gonna put these a little deeper down. I'm not super hopeful about these being up to much. This is purely just science, just for funsies, you know? So another reason I put this in water was just kind of clean these off too. Any extra stuff on the seeds is gonna rot, right? So I just want those seeds. Do I think that anything's gonna happen? Maybe not, but I mean, worth a try. Oh my gosh, this tripod is trash. Hi. Okay, so I have a couple avocado plants that, why is my hair so terrible? That I have had in water for a really long time, and just weird stuff has been happening with it, so that I don't think it's gonna really do anything. So I figured it can't hurt for me to just have a little experiment here. The root structure was doing great, but now it's like turned this dark color. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm gonna need a big pot. I don't know if I left it too long and it got moldy or what happened exactly, but yeah, it's just weird. Some of the root looks great, some of it does not. The plant itself that's growing out, I'm gonna come a little closer here. Ignore the toothpicks. I don't need those anymore. The plant looks like it was coming up in several different areas, but then it just died. And then this one was just the tiniest avocado pit. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that is up to. Nothing. But I also broke off half of this avocado. There is a little plant that looks like it's gonna start growing eventually. Obviously it's not there yet. And the root is okay, but really also not up to much. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in the dirt and see what happens. I'm gonna put it in this. So the idea is you want to touch and move the what's the word I'm looking for? Roots as little as possible. So I'm kind of just folding it over, and then I'm just gonna let the dirt fall around it. So I'm kind of just leaving it poking out for now. And I'm actually going to use these cups. I'm going to flip it over upside down, and I'm going to put some holes in it just for a little bit of airflow. And for the other one, because its root structure is so intense, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bigger pot for that. So this pot is 100% overkill, but that's kind of my middle name. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with my other avocado. Yeah, this root is a little crazy, but again, I want to kind of suspend it above, and I'm not gonna fill it up too high onto the seed. Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm a mess, always. All right. Oof. I don't know if I'm doing a good job here. So we'll see if this helps or doesn't do anything. I have no idea what's gonna happen, as always. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful time. I love planting shit, so hope you enjoyed it too. All right, bye.